Hello everybody, this is Adamu Muhammad Donkori. So, this is the part 2 of my podcast on education, titled, Do You Want the Poor to Have Access to Education? Embrace the Future of Education. And I really forgot to mention one very important point. They're all important, I think, because this is the future of education, as I've mentioned in that podcast. So what was it that I forgot? Well, this is it. Some of the coding boot camps. So it's basically a mini school that you go and they teach you how to code in few weeks, less than a year generally. They don't charge you upfront. Literally, they do not charge you upfront, and they will guarantee you that after you graduate from their boot camp and you don't have a job that pays more than $50,000 US dollars, you don't pay nothing. You don't pay nothing. So let me kind of step back again and say this properly. Ordinarily, you pay them to go to attend the boot camp. If you like, you don't. You pay them after you secure a job when you graduate. And if at the end you do not secure a job, or you secure a job that pays you less than 50,000 US dollars, you don't pay them nothing. Otherwise, if you do, then you pay them about 17% of your yearly salary for 2 years. Usually they have a cap. You won't pay a certain amount of money. So you won't pay, like, let's say, no matter how much you make for that 2 years, you won't pay more than 30,000 or 25 or some even 14, I believe. This is incredible. Now, do you know what this does? It takes education. It takes the success of education and put it to the person being educated and the educator. So the educator, of course, in this case, the boot camps, they would want to train you well so that you can secure a job. Because if you don't pay them. So they are in deeply to make sure you succeed. And in your own case, of course, you want to learn so that you can pay back. This was not invented by the government. This is when people are allowed to take charge of their lives. When reasonable people are allowed to take charge of their lives. That is the future of education. And I came across an article that talked about, one of the universities is attempting to try this method. I think it's called Income Share Agreement, ISA. So one of the big universities, I can't remember their names. If you have time, Google ISA, Income Share Agreement. I think it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. How people can come up with this. The software industry is one of the least regulated industries that we have. Like the government isn't telling you what language to study. like what programming language to study, what not to study. Like you could produce app, an 18-year-old can learn a code, produce their app, actually start working for a company. This is absolutely amazing and really tells you how the future education looks like. Responsibility. The educator takes responsibility. The person being educated also takes responsibility. So that means both have their hands deep for success, for absolute success. So yeah, you should definitely check the ISA out and see how that works, and really pay attention to that field. I think the computer field, the education in the computer field and the job market for computer field will begin to show people how really education might work in the future. Again, with freedom, education can, like, you can't really predict. Really. You cannot, no one can predict tomorrow. Period. So you can't predict how education would be, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be cheap, almost free. It's going to be fast. It's going to be just all the good stuff you could think of. When people are not restrained, they innovate. That's why you can't really predict how it's going to be. Now, if you are in the programming industry, like learning programming languages, oh my God, like JavaScript changes before you know it. Changes all the time, like they're innovating, they're improving it, making it better. So you can't really predict. Only, when people use government to do things, or outside of government using force, that things don't work. I think people should give freedom chance so that we can alleviate poverty, so that people can actually help themselves alleviate poverty. Things will be a lot easier. All right, I was not thinking this podcast will go this far as well. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoy what I say in my podcast, please do come back again. I promise you I would have some more. Thank you. Bye-bye.